guys. Okay, so I want to make sure that I can see you guys and you guys can see me. I don't think I'm going to need this anymore, but just in case. All right. I have a cold or something. They're going to claim it's a cold. I'm just saying it's stuffy nose. I have a stuffy nose. Okay. Try to make sure I can see you guys and everything right here on my tablet so I can make sure you guys can see me there. And that it all looks good so I can see your comments. Just pulling up. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I'm trying to get it to connect to the internet. Okay, all right. I think we are cooking. I didn't know that the tablet was actually off, or else I would have turned it on earlier while I was waiting for this to come on. Oops. Okay. Yay! Okay, hi guys. Hi Cynthia. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Okay, great. Great. Okay. So I am making the Mighty Messenger bag by Fierce Kitten Studios. Sorry, I'm a little stopped up today, so I may sound very nasally. I woke up this way. Kind of like born this way, you know? I know, I cracked myself up. Okay, so I did all of my prepping for my leather pieces. So I skived all the way around all of my pieces. I did all of that. So you guys can see. The only thing I didn't skive was the connectors. Because those are just going to be on the raw edge and they're just going to go over the sides. I just wanted to make sure. You like this pattern? I love this pattern. Okay, so I've got all of those pieces, and then I've got my flap. I'm actually going to bring my stuff closer to me because I got these little short T-Rex arms. Okay, so I've got the front flap piece, so this is going to be the front. And then the interior piece is going to be this beautiful dark waterproof canvas. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of different things than it does in the pattern. I have a New Tech sewing machine. It's equivalent to a Juki 8700. So they're very similar. The only difference is it just has the name New Tech instead of Juki because all the other parts are exactly the same. Hi Shanova. Hello. So all the parts for it, like replacement parts, everything are exactly like a Juki 8700. So I love that. Okay, so I'm going to do some changes to make this easier for me to use this leather on it. So a lot of times when you do leather, you turn it right side out and then try to do top stitching, it doesn't really work all that well. So what I'm going to do is cut this back within the seam allowance, and then all I'm going to do is take this and tape it down like so, and then top stitch around. I think it's going to give it a nice cleaner look, especially for the flap. And the back instead of putting it into the seam, I'm going to be putting it onto the exterior of the bag. You guys will see. So yes, I've got all my pieces here. My front accent piece, I made my daughter a Triskel wallet using this print, and I thought that would really look really nice with it and kind of make it pop. And then in the back, where I'm going to be installing the back flap to the back pattern instead of it being into the seam, I'm going to base this on and then cover it with this. So almost like a backpack, you know, when you cover the strap connectors, like the shoulder straps, when you put that little strip of fabric, kind of like that. That's what I'm envisioning. So as things go along, I will tell you what I'm doing. Here are all my pieces, all my little hardware pieces, my name, little tag. I will be using this beautiful zipper because it kind of goes with the blue on here, and it really pops it with the gold zipper teeth. So yeah, awesome sauce. So when I have something that's different from the pattern, I will let you guys know as I move along. So prepping so far for this, I did the leather and I showed you guys how I did my scabbing with my nail Dremel tool. It took a while, I'm not gonna lie, it took a while, but it was definitely worth it because I know I'm not gonna have too much complications with this fabric. All right, so I'm gonna start working on my front flap piece. This is where I'm gonna start off with. Hello, Aileen. Long time no hear from you, girlie. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, so I am going to trim this all down. By 1/4 inch. 1/4 or 3/8. I think it's 3/8. Yeah, 3/8. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. This change of weather back and forth has definitely been kicking my butt today. Aileen, I've been doing good. Thanks for asking. Other than this crazy congestion that I'm going through right now, everything's been going great. Went to a Christmas party last week with my husband's family. That is always fun. We always have fun doing that. Okay. The curves are going to be probably the hardest one to do. Excuse me, I've got this is running away from me. And it usually doesn't get too bad unless I am looking down. So I'm looking down, it's running away. I have to grab some tissues. My daughter would not be like, oh, obviously, but I'm connecting all my dash marks, so instead of going all the way around, what I'm doing is making enough lines that I can make sure that it's straight and then connect the lines. It's kind of like connect the dots, except it's connect the lines. I know, I'm so happy you can finally make it too. Super exciting. I feel like I haven't seen many people from down my way in a while. All right, so I'm gonna also cut this down to reduce the bulk, but I may actually just fold it down actually. All right, so let me cut that. Super exciting. I've already signed up. It actually sold out the day, if I'm not mistaken, at So Whatever Studios. I'm going to be up there in April for the sewing retreat with Shenova. I reached out to a couple of my sewing buddies, and we're going to carpool. So that works out really well. Okay, did that. Okay. Now for this particular pattern, I am, come on tape, there we go. I am not going to do the zipper pocket on the flap. I'm just doing it on the outside and then doing one on the inside. And I'm doing a cargo pocket on the inside as well. My daughter loves pockets. Yes, I think it's going to be so much fun, Aileen. It was actually a birthday / Christmas gift from my sister. She came up for Thanksgiving, and she exchanged information with my daughter so that my daughter and her can, keep in touch and stuff. Just to keep an eye on me, really. Not like she's like stalking me or anything, but more of the, I want to make sure your mom's doing okay kind of situation. So, give me a call if anything. Hello. Are you my ghost? Christine, are you my ghost now? And I'm using this gold thread, this brownish gold thread. I think that'll look really nice with everything as well. Like it'll really offset it. Okay. That's gonna be perfect. So we're gonna center that within the seam allowance. Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. Okay, so hold on. You guys can't see, my thing's on the way. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this here and I'm gonna fold it over. Now that's not quite a lot, so I think I'm gonna trim more down because that's not very much folded over. So I'm gonna need some more. So let me cut some more down. Yep, a text or email. Well, Christine, I've changed my phone number because I don't have the studio anymore, so I had to give it my business telephone number. So if you were reaching me out on that one, that's probably why. And as far as email, are you emailing Sandra at Garner Sewing Room? Which also will probably be changing sometime soon too, because the website and everything is associated with that, so that might also be changing. Yeah, I went to change providers and they're like, well, you can't keep the number with you unless you have a business. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, you have to have like a business tax ID or something. And I'm like, well, I used to, but you know, I'm not anymore. I kind of closed all that down last year. And I'm like, yeah, well, you can't do it. My website, Christine. Now I know when you messaged me through Messenger, I get it that way. So overall, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably closer to a 1/2 inch taken away. And you may be asking yourself, okay, well, why did you not do this ahead of time? And the answer is because I wanted to have you guys see the process. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Yes, that's much better. Okay, so before I go too far, I do want to put my flap, my magnetic snaps onto the flap, because the flap, once I do this, there is no turning right side. I don't think that the lining will be against the body of the bag. If I can talk today. Send me my help jumper. There we go. And I'm also going to put my name tag on the front of the flap as well. So let me put these on first. So turn this, put that there, turn this. That's plenty of clearance. I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's 1 inch. Okay. 1 inch from the side and about 3/4 from the bottom. So that's pretty good. Okay. All right. I hope this angle works pretty good. I wanted to kind of have you guys see the what you call it, the machine. Okay. All right, so one is silver. Well, that's not right. So let me see here. It had the cap on it, so I didn't really see that it was silver, not gold. Oopsies. I knew I had some over here. What did I just drop? Something dropped, y'all. I don't know what it is. Did it drop in my lap? No, that's my phone. Okay, so let me see where it fell because I need that piece. Ah! Got it. It's magnetic, so it hit the foot pedal and it stayed on the foot pedal. Okay. So now I did that, so I'm gonna do the Audis. Come on. All right. Let me put these together. Just so they don't fall on the floor, because I know me. Christine, you said through the website? What do you mean by the website? I'm opening my prongs up because I personally like to open them rather than have them towards each other. I feel like it just reduces the amount of bulk right in there. Oh, that's cute. Okay, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I can go around and push this down and top stitch all the way around. But I want it to show up in here. So let me see if I have some. I don't think I have any chalk. Chalk would be awesome. Because you're not going to really see this part, but at the same time, I don't want to mark it all up. Oh, it's the way you could. Oh, you tried. Got it. Okay. I'm trying to figure this out. Do, 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 do. I think they've put pretty sense in the bulk of it would be reduced because it kind of comes in. It's just because these curves are going to be such a pain. The amount of bulk that needed to work in this corner. We'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. Oh, you're heading out? Okay. Bye, Christine. I do this so everything can kind of stay down as I'm working with my leather and pushing it inside towards the right side of the, just kind of helps everything stay where it needs to stay. I do this with foam too, when I'm putting foam on either the exterior or the lining. Usually it's the exterior, but it's not fusible. This is what I do. Okay. All right, let's do these curves first. Okay. I'm putting double-sided tape around the curves, a little bit of the straightaway, and then the curve. All right, let's do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up to there. Take this one, bring it to there, and I need to reduce some of that bulk right there, which is totally fine. That's the good thing about working with leather, is that if you need to cut things away, you can. It's not a big deal. I just don't want to cut too much that it interferes with the seam. Like it doesn't get caught when I do my top stitching, you know? And you can also hammer it if you needed to. This one's gonna look more like a squared, more of a squared round bottom. Yeah, that looks cute. Let me get some more double-sided tape. Put it on the edge over here. Yeah, that's good. So with leather, you can have raw edges, but you do want them to be pretty raw edges. Got a little excited with my skiving right there. Okay. Peeling the backing off of this is like, Let me get a clip to hold this in place. If you have a all thing, it also helps. Just kind of keep everything where it needs to be. So right there's where I'm going to be taking that bit off there. And then this bit there. It's almost like we're cutting out like little V's. The tape alone is not good enough to just hold these corners down, so I do need to have my clips there. Okay, where did you go? There it is. I found the edge. Just looking for my edge before I had cut off. All right. Do this side. Yes, it's much better. That's looking nice. Okay, so let me see here. This is the flap part. Something like that. Oh, wrong way. So wait a minute, that doesn't look right. Okay, so right here is where we'll fold over from the front to the back. So right about here is where I want my name tag. That's not 8 inches. Yeah, I'm gonna say 4 inches down from the top, but centered. So this is a dry erase marker, and it'll rub off, but just in case, you always want to test things. Okay, so 5 inches down, centered. Oh, before I forget, I wanted to put my accent piece on. Let's see, accent piece. Okay, let me worry about my tag first, and then I'll do this accent piece. All right, and it's not my tag. It's the ones I used to get from Mormino from Lauren. It's the handcrafted one. Anytime I had any bag making workshops, I would always have these available in a multitude of colors because I didn't want anybody left out if they didn't have an actual metal name tag of their own, because they're expensive. So I wasn't going to be like, oh, you don't have one, you know, because I wanted to make sure everybody had one. I like to make things like that. I don't know. I like to make sure everybody had what they needed and didn't feel left out in any of the workshops or classes. So even if they didn't have one on their own, they always got one from me. And I would buy them from Lauren. So win-win situation with supporting other small businesses. I do have several of them left, so I don't really need to buy them anymore. So the good thing about me just sticking that rather than gluing it is that I can do all this stuff and it's not going to make a big deal. Because I can unstick it. Stick it really good. Okay, so handcrafted. Now come on. I know I made the hole. There we go. I was like, why isn't it going through? I'm struggling. Oh, that's interesting. I thought I made a hole there. I did. It just didn't go all the way through for some reason. Ah, there we go. All right, so I'm going to open this up, really make this nice and flat. Put this in there. Okay. And prongs out. Okay. Phew, that was a workout. Prongs out. Okay, well then this is going to really make the curve not be as undefined because there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to mark where this went down to. Just the amount I had to cut off. Right over here. And you're probably wondering, what? I'm going to retrace it with the pattern piece over here. Up against. Like that. I'm going to overestimate just a little bit, just in case. I can always take it down, but I can't add it back in, so. I want to make sure. Nope, just a little shy of that. Okay, so I am gonna have to do it to there. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I don't wanna underestimate. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. All right, so if you guys have any questions, just put it in the comments. I will continue to look to see if anybody has said anything. Hey, Jaden, how are you? Perfect. Hello, hello, hello. Jaden says hi to everybody. I wanted to have Victoria come on with me, or Tori, come on with me tonight, but she had a friend coming over this morning. So even though I messaged her for her last night and me earlier this morning, she'd already made plans. So I think we're going to be doing a live together on New Year's Day. So New Year's Day, we will be doing a dual live. Okay. And even though I'm going to do this and you're going to see the stitching over here, that's not a big deal because it's just going to act like top stitching, like accent pieces. It's just an extra little detail. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so cute. Okay. Let me take these off so I can go like that, and then I'll work these corners in to match my accent piece. Hi, Tammy. Cold, how are you? You know, I've got this sniffling thing going on, but other than that, I'm doing great. It was cold and then it got warm. It's the weirdest thing. Cold and warm and cold and warm again. It's just weird. Okay. I just really want to make sure that I am getting this well within the curve so that on the other side it's not peeking through. That's good. Oh yeah, see that? That little piece right there. I got a little excited with the stuff. Hi Tammy, how are you, Sandra? So happy to see you. So like, hi Tammy, I'm doing great. This is a fun pattern. I've made it several times. I made it really cute cut-out wax canvas too. Oh yeah, wax canvas in this bag. Oh yes, 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 yes. I think any messenger bag in wax canvas looks amazing. Especially if it's like a natural tone. It just really gives it that like rustic feel, you know? Like what messenger bags were made for. My daughter's going to be carrying lots of stuff in this. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. I love that. I love that. So I made her a Triskel wallet from Sonar with this pattern. And so that's working really nice as my little accent pieces. So it's not going to overwhelm it, but at the same time, it really complements the leather really nicely. Okay, clean up a little bit. take a sip. So I am going to start with my hump jumper, which is really just a piece of the leather doubled. Just to make sure I'm not like going uphill. And I might double stitch this just so that I love that double stitched look with leather. Oh. Around this accent piece, I'm really being careful because I don't want it shifting because it's on top rather than in the seam. This is just one of those ways that I have taken a lot of that bulk out of the seam. Okay, and I'm going to go this way and then across and then back up. That way. Very much. So that they both get double stitched. I'm definitely happy to be sewing again, for sure. I think I sewed last week. When did I make? No, a couple weeks ago. I made the Victoria wristlet by Mormino. I talked to Tori and we both have agreed to do a Lola by Swoon, and I'm going to do some fancy applique because why not? Probably going to use my laser to cut some things out to make it look really like cool and stand out. Reason? Because something different. Just to do something different. Because why not? Sammy says, yes, man. Love me a good double stitch. Yes, I do too. I love a good double stitch. Oh yes, so pretty. All right, the flap is done. There's the flap. There's the flap on the inside. Looks really, really nice. Oh yes, thank you, Jace. It's very nice, very pretty. Okay, so I've done that. Now I'm going to do the zipper applique on the back panel piece. I have to like remind myself what I'm doing. So this is the back piece, and I'm going to put this centered like this. Maybe just a little bit like that. And then I'm going to take my accent piece. I may need to actually make this narrower to put on top, but I'm going to fold it, and then put it on. Just so that it's just a really nice touch, you know? So I think I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit, but we'll get there in just a minute. I need to do my zipper pocket first. Okay, so I need my zipper, and then I need my pocket pieces. Pocket pieces. Let's take that, put that to the side. Zipper. Ladies. I keep it like this so I know that I need to put the zipper here and here. If that makes sense. For my head, it computes. So I made this to be the width of the bag minus half an inch. So to catch in the seam allowance, but it won't like add much bulk to the seam allowance, if that makes sense. I am using a metal zipper. And I'll show you how to avoid getting the needle stuck in there. I love metal zippers with leather. It's just like Shinobu says, chef's kiss. It's just like perfect. You can't get any better, really. And I might run out of my bobbin and I'll throw one other bobbin, not sure yet. I had a lot left over last time, so I'm hoping that I can get through a lot of top stitching, like really pretty stitching done before. Thank you, Tammy. I think it's pretty too. I meant to do that before. Forgot to do that on the other side. Do that. It's okay. It's only a couple stitches. It's not much. I can unpick that. Or pick it. Either way. Come on. You got this. A little bit more. I'm matching it up to it just to make sure that it's the same distance when I start doing this. Okay, catch it. pinch it. Okay, see how that lines up? Need to do just a little bit more. Yep, that looks good. All right, so let me stitch that down. So I'm starting to stitch just past the metal teeth. This is going to be interesting. I'll put my outline right there. So it acts as a finger instead of my finger. I don't want to put my finger over there. It's not good. So I just did those 45-degree angles right there. Or 90-degree angles. I don't know. I wasn't good at geometry. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to open this, stitch this down, and stitch this down. Actually, let me see. That's the one. This is the one that needs to get stitched down. The other one does not. Just this one. And you're probably asking me, how do you know that? Well, because I cut one of them to be a ½ inch longer than the other one. And when I did that, when I did that, what happened is that so then that way I know that this one is the one in the front and then the longer one is in the back. You don't have to do it that way. You could do it both the same size and then just cut it off. But I find when I do that, I just cut my pockets too small. And then it ends up being a little bitty bitty pocket. And I'm like, well, I don't want a bitty bitty pocket. I want a normal size pocket. There we go. And on this side, just like that. Okay. There we go. So what I'm doing is making sure that where my teeth come in at that angle lands right inside of the opening. I don't think you can see that, sorry. And then over here, the little stopper is just right there. So I'm not gonna stitch over that when I do my top stitching. Over here, when I do my top stitching, it'll be very, very little right through here. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna use some good tape. Hold on. Yeah, this is the body. This is the top. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, give me a second. I'm gonna cut off this excess, and you're gonna want to do this very carefully and kind of cut in between the teeth. Okay. Cut in between the teeth. If you have a pair of pliers, you could pull these out. These are really not the best for this. There you go. Actually, I just cut it. That would help me. Where'd it go? Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut. I cut the 45-degree angle. Darn it. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't mean to cut the 45-degree angle part of the tape, but I did. It's okay. That 45-degree angle is what keeps the zipper pull from coming off. So, got a little too excited. Burn my ends. Really make sure it's not going anywhere. Okay, so right there. When I top stitch, this is the one I'm going to need to take over here. Ha, we got it. So you pinch it and pull it. These are not the best for this. I almost got it. Got it. Ha ha ha. Okay. Just make sure. Almost. I got it. All right. Homostats. Oh, okay. That might be a good one. Homostats might work too. Yeah. Because you can really clamp it. Don't have any of those, but that would work. Thank you. Okay. So I want to do this one first, this top piece first. I just want it to stay where I want it to. I don't really want to, oh, that didn't work. Put a bunch of tape everywhere. Because I don't want it getting, I don't want it seeing it. I'm just going to use a thin one. Just put it down everywhere. Why not? Putting it out of my seam allowance. So I don't want it being seen on the other side. Welcome to the other side. And then I'll pull this one after I've gotten that one done. So pretty. Okay. Oh, looks so pretty. pretty. Okay, top to sleeve. Come right here. And I hand crank just a couple of them to really make sure I'm clearing those metal zipper teeth. Okay, on this side, I think I'm just going to that and pull it off. I can tie off my threads on the back. Because now that this is out of the way, I'm not going to sit over it, but at the same time, this bulkiness, see how it pops up? It makes it really hard to do that when you're trying to keep everything flat. So. Okay. I don't want things flying off my table. I'm turning things. The metals, the potential is so pretty. It takes a notch for sure. Yeah, it does take it up a notch. It makes it look so nice. I did my nails last night and I didn't even know I was going to do gold today, but looks nice. I'm matching. Okay. Really wanted to make sure that I had that notched in place. There we go. Don't tell me I just ran out of bobbin. Oh man, I just won bobbin roulette. Come on now, that's fun. Yeah, buddy. I won bobbin roulette. That like never happens. It's so awesome. Thanks, Jamie. If you guys are new here, don't forget to say hi and let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I love to know where you guys, are tuning in from. I know sometimes I have some people from Australia, some people from Europe, and then a lot from the United States, because that's where I am. A couple of my friends from North Carolina. Lucky. Doing all my tying off just to make sure. I'm not going to say my daughter's the roughest thing out there, but she's pretty rough. She gets it honestly. And no, it's not from me. I am rusty. I am kind of tough though. Not new, but Vegas. Yes, Terry. From Vegas. I'll be out there again in July. So I'm sure If you come out to this location, you will find me. I'm doing the t-shirt quilt class again, and I'm trying to think what else I'm doing. T-shirt quilt, the t-shirt quilt class. A couple other things that she has me on the list for. I'm not sure. I just told Amanda to just put me on whatever she thought I needed to be. So she's like, okay. Oh, I ran out of bobbin, so I'm gonna wind my bobbin. So excuse the noise for a minute. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Get this to wind. Now this is the computerized version of the sewing machine. So if you have one that's not computerized, like a Juki, it doesn't have the bobbin up here. It has it on the side. But like I said, it really is the same. This is all the same parts. Yay! If you're still on this side, you'll be there. Great. Love to have some nice, familiar, smiling faces. Had a blast last year when I went. Before that, I went to the one in Orlando that she hosted in Orlando the year before that in October. That was fun. I went with one of my really good friends, Monica. She was really fun to hang out with. She was helping me with the vendor booth. I'm not doing vending anymore though, I'm just doing teaching. Not for sewing stuff, you know. Markets I might still do. But when it comes to actual like sewing vendor, like for sewing supplies and stuff, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to do it. Okay, that piece is done. Actually, this is probably going to be a little too close for comfort down there. So I may have to trim this down a little bit. Just right there. Yeah, that's better. Back stitch at the beginning and at the other end. When you do that, just to make sure you're reinforcing those stitches. Awesome. These scissors are not the greatest, so that's why I use these when I cut like zipper tape, and that's the one that gets like abused. Voila. Okay, so that pocket is done. It's nice. It's nice. Okay, so now I want my accent piece and my flap. Oh, that would be so cool. If I did this like it's like a peekaboo, like you can't see. Like a little flap. Oh, that would be nice. You can't even see the zipper. That would be awesome. Kind of like this. What do you guys think? I'm just trying to think like it would be hard for her to get into it if I did that. No. I didn't do all that prettiness for that zipper not to do that, so. Right there. Okay, so right there, and it comes to here. So let's cut this bad boy down. I don't need much of a accent piece, just to kind of tuck it in. So I think 2 inches would equal 1 inch. So let's do 3 inches. So it's 1.5 inches. These are my good scissors. Don't throw that away. You could use that for something. Axe up the side strap pieces, something. You could use it for something. Okay. All right, so 1.5. That's 1, 2. Oh. This is actually 1.25. It's okay. It's okay. You've been getting the staycation. I know. The staycation in Vegas turned out really fun. The last night that I was there before I flew home, I went and played bingo at the resort. I don't go anywhere. I stay in the resort. I don't go anywhere really. So when I was there, I played bingo because that was one of my mom's favorite things to do in the whole wide world. And so I did that. I played bingo in honor of my mother. It was fun. Lots and lots of fun. Didn't win anything. A lot of people ask me, did you win anything? Nope, didn't win anything. I was literally like one number away from winning a jackpot. And then nothing. Oh yeah, that's going to be so cute. And then the flap's going to be here, so it's going to be down. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, let me show you guys what I'm thinking about, because this is different from the pattern. This is not how the pattern is written. So it's going to be like this, tucked in like that. I like that. Do you guys like that? Shoot. If I had known you, we would have gone together. Oh, Tammy, we need to do it together. Come on, girl. We can do that. Let's do it. Yep. Yeah, my mom, blah, 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 blah. It was important for me to do it. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't have any of her lucky trolls with me, obviously. I didn't have any of them. But it was still fun. I like the paper as well. Yeah, so I did the paper in the machine and did all that lovely stuff. Okay, so that's right there. Okay. And most locals have a car. I can take you wherever you want to go. Maybe show you some sights. Oh, that would be nice. I don't think I've actually seen any. Well, I can't say anything because I have. I've been to Vegas before, so I can't say that I haven't. But it's been a while since I've actually seen all the new stuff. So my husband and I went back in 2020, right after everything opened back up after COVID, for our anniversary. So yeah, we went there after our anniversary. That was fun. There we go. So, right. Yeah, good. I was like, did I peel the sticker? The sticky stuff off? Perfect. Now I'm going to stitch that down, and then I'm going to take this one and put it on and stitch it down again. Just so I catch it. Yeah, that's perfect because it's landing right there where that folded edge is. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. I always have to clean my desk off. I don't understand. But sometimes I do that and I'm like, why did I do that for? I didn't have to do it. You know, it makes things nicer. Right. So see how that's gonna work? As this is the back and then this is the front. Just flats down really nicely. Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to put this one down. And my double-sided tape is out of the seam allowance. Just so you know. In case you were wondering. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, that looks so good. I'm doing happy dance. Happy dance. Oh, that's so good. I know, I keep saying that. think that's going to be too close to do a double stitch on either side of that, so I'm just going to leave it as a single. But ooh, look at that. Fancy. Ooh, I'm loving this. I'm loving it, I'm loving it, I'm loving it. Okay. So now that I've done that, now I'm going to do my gusset pieces. So my bottoms and my sides. C, C, D, D. Which ones are which? I don't remember. So I'm going to pull up my pattern pieces. C is the upper gusset, and D is the lower gusset, so that means that's the bottom part. Okay, I'll keep this together. Okay, so if you had a directional print, you would put these pieces in the right orientation. I do not have directional fabric, but I am going to look really fast at what my seam allowance is. So to this point, it really hasn't made a difference, but with gusset pieces and all that, because I want it to fit, I want to make sure that I have it correct. Drive. And then I might get up and get myself a little break because it's been an hour and a half. An hour and a half. Mighty messenger. Proceeds for this bag go to St. Jude's as well. So in case you were wondering. Aha. Half an inch unless otherwise. Perfect. And I'm almost out of my drink. Not quite, but almost. Shading stitch length. Because this is suede, it does not want to move. Let me just say that right now. It does not want to move. So you have to start in a little bit and then back stitch. So what I mean by a little bit, like almost the entire foot length. There we go. Now it's starting to go. And I kind of lift up a little bit to kind of keep that drag away from the bottom as well. And then I can butterfly that seam open and top stitch. Now right here, this seam may need a little loving. What I mean by that, it probably needs to be like bumped a little bit. Okay, so this is the bottom, and then we have the top pieces. Again, if this is directional, you want to make sure you account for that, but this is not directional, so I'm good. Okay. We are also going to do the same with this one. We're going to butterfly that seam open. I'm going to do this side first before I do that so that I don't have to change my stitch length again. The less amount of times I change my seam allowance, the better it is for me mentally, so that I don't forget to change it over and do a really small top stitch. Or a really big joining stitch. Sometimes if it's not doing right with back stitching, what I do is I put it back on the opposite direction and then I sew to it and back stitch. You don't have to do it all in one swoop. Nobody says you have to be Superman or Superwoman. Okay. Sometimes it just doesn't like to go. But then you have to tell it who's the boss. I went to go see Boys to Men in Vegas when I was there with my husband for our anniversary, and we saw the Jabberwockies. A lot of people who weren't our age were like, what are Jabberwockies? So I had to explain to them they were a dance group from the early 2000s. Okay, so there's our gusset. So pretty. Okay. My husband's printing something. Okay. So we're going to find our center of the bottom of our bag because we want that to match up with the seam at the bottom. And I am marking it. I'm not snipping into it. I'm going to test something out really fast. So I'm going to stitch these on. I'm going to audition this together with wrong sides touching. And the reason I'm auditioning this is because I want to see how it'll look with that seam on the outside. And then just kind of making sure that I can really make it look nice when it's buffed out. Or just glued and top stitched, really. Because if that's the case and it looks really nice, I can just put some cement glue on the seam allowance on the inside and the outside, and then just really work that in. I'm trying to figure out, was this supposed to be like down a little bit and then I'm trying to shift it down just a little bit and see if that helps. It doesn't seem to be doing much. Even if I notch into that, that's a lot to ease in. You see that? That's like a 1/2 inch to ease in. So let me see here. Let me go back to the pattern. It's been a long time since I've done this. Take one down. Why am I not seeing? No, it's just on the outside. I'm really not sure why that's so different. But let's put pretty sides together and see if that makes a difference. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. That's why I audition it, just to make sure, because sometimes you can't do that. And if you do, you have to make accommodations for it. Just pour these out. So you're not hearing me rattle through picking up the entire time. No, it's still not doing anything. Yep, still 1/2 inch. So I think I'm going to come down from here 1/4 inch. On either side and see if that helps. So let's mark it. Half an inch, actually, sorry. Because the 1/2 inch on each side that I have that gapping. seeing if it works. If it works, I'm going to do wrong sides together. I think it'll just look nicer that way without having to be turned. A lot of leather is not meant to be turned right side out, like seamed, pretty sides together and then turned. Oh yeah, that's so much better. This is a nice soft leather though, so I think I could get away with doing it this way and turning it right side out. And do more like a drop-in lining. I think that's gonna be better. So I'll probably just finish the exterior tonight and then later in a couple of days do the lining pieces, but have the exterior already done. I don't mind staying up a little bit later. I'm trying to think if that'll look nice. I think so because yeah, I think that'll be pretty. Okay. So, yeah. Even though it really would be easier to sew this wrong sides together because the slick part here will go through a lot easier. Choices. Nope, I'm doing it this way. Choices. Don't worry about me. There we go. I'm having to pull a little bit from the back just to kind of get it working. But now that it's going, I don't have to do that anymore. Okay. Take your time, nice and slow, take it easy. Can you imagine how much harder this would be if I didn't skive my seam allowances? Goodness. I'd be in so much trouble right now. Now this is going to have a strap connector on each side, so that's why I'm not putting it right here and then I like to have it over and then stitched on. So that's another difference that I'm doing. Oh, look at that. It looks so pretty. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that seam. Oh, yes. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. I'm going to do something a little different. And I'm going to put tape all the way around and tape it to itself. So, it just lays better. Kind of has its own designated area to go to, if that makes sense. You could do this with vinyl as well. I'm not sure how well it would like to do it. So like right here where this one is, I'm going to trim away this flat piece. That's just my exit piece in the back, just so that it just lays nice. Push this up. You could stitch this down, but then when you get to the other side, it's not going to be as feasible going into these curves on the other side unless you have a cylinder arm, which I do not. I have this beautiful machine here. Okay. Now if I would have done this like I did with the front flap and then put those sides together then stitched, that would have been nice. But this is just to kind of hold it down. It's not permanent by any means. It's just gonna help the leather really know where it's supposed to fold into, if that makes sense. It's just helping it know where to go. It'll help train it. That's the best word. It'll help train it. Okay. Oh, this is so nice. So pretty. Okay, so now that that's in there, I'm going to clip these together so the flap stays out of the way. And I'm going to do my other side. Sometimes the chat like freezes on me, so I'm gonna get out and go back in just in case. Because sometimes it freezes on me, and then somebody will be asking questions or somebody will comment. I'm like, oh, stuff. Oh, hi. Okay, Tammy, do you have a Skyber? No, I do not have a Skyber, Tammy. What I did was use my nail Dremel tool to Skype it. That's what I used. And I actually did it on the live that I did earlier this week. I'm going to try to take off and digest. What can I say? And like take that part out. That way people who want to just know how to skive the leather can just watch that little piece as I explain it. Because, yeah, I did like this little reel thing on my Instagram page, and everybody was like, wait a second now. How did you do that? Like, that was like, what? But yeah, I do not have a Skyler. I've never had a Skyler. But I did do that. So it's a good thing I refreshed because I knew it's been awfully quiet in the chat, and sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, I know someone must be saying something. I'm not delusion. I miss. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Hello, Rory. Are you one of the people who live that real? Oh, yay! Great. Awesome. It's great to know that you guys are seeing these little tidbits that I put out there. The video is on YouTube. No, I'm sorry, Instagram. Instagram, and it's also linked to my Facebook, so I think it published it on both. But it's going to be on the Garner Sewing Room portion of it, maybe. Yeah, no problem. I like to help when I can, for sure. This is stuff that I had struggled with for a long time. Like, seriously. If I can help any which way, I do. I'm turning my pins, my clips the other way. I turned them the wrong way earlier. And I'm hoping this camera angle helps you guys really see what I'm doing. I think the forward, the one that faces towards me, I find that you guys miss a lot of what's happening closer to my body, because I do have little T-Rex arms, and I can't do things really far away for you guys to see it. So this kind of helps me help you see what I'm doing. So hopefully I can help you if you have any challenges or anything like that. And that's also why I like to do lives, because the lives really help me. Oh, you don't have Instagram? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll try to post it again on Facebook so you guys can see it. But yeah, so what was I saying? I like to keep everything in my videos, and that's why I like to do lives, because that way you guys really see what's going on, like behind the scenes kind of thing, and you can see how I troubleshoot or how I come up with things and the creative process and everything like that. I'm hoping that one day I can like do the full start to finish type of thing, so you guys can see like how I pick out what I'm doing, and how do I pick out which fabrics I'm going to be using, and how do I pick out like what goes together. You know, nothing is an exact science, but I know that sometimes just having some insight and input on something that someone else is doing kind of helps. So anything to help. That's why I started the channel. I actually started the channel before I even had an actual teaching studio. Hey babe, you need the paper? Do you need the paper, babe? We're just coming to get it. Okay. I'm just doing the exterior tonight. Pretty much done with the exterior. I'll do the lining another day. Okay. I'm getting hungry too, babe.
I know, right?
I know it's like 9:30 at night. Okay. Well, the side stuck up pretty good. Okay. That looks good. Alright, let's turn it right side out and see how it looks. Now that the exterior is done. Oh yes, look at those curves. Oh, I have a pucker. Darn, I have a huge pucker right there. I'm not gonna be able to. Nope. Gotta pick it up. Where did I get that pucker? Alright, so if you get a pucker, you got to take the stitches out. One inch before the curve. Take out the entire curve. And 1 inch after the curve. That kind of gives you like a running jump start to kind of get everything back where it was. It's not easy to take out the stitches on leather because the fuzzy back doesn't make it easy for you to see the stitches, so I have to like pull it apart, look at my stitches, and then snip and go. Okay, there we go. I remember it like lifting up, and that's when it did it. When it had it lifted up, and I went to do the turn, my needle came up, and when that happens, it gets out of alignment, and you can get puckers. So it's kind of important that if you're stitching a curve and your needle comes up, you have to redo it. Just saying. I'm concentrating so hard. You guys can see my face while I'm concentrating so hard. I'm like, I gotta get this right. All right. That looks so much better. Okay. Let's turn this bad boy out. Oh yes, so much better. Look at that curve. No puckers. Just take out this stitches. Like the thread from the stitches. Should have cleaned this up before I did that, but oopsies. Just trim them down as best as you can, and then run a lighter across it really fast. Run the lighter over here to get all those little fuzzies out. There we go. Okay. Oh, that looks so pretty. Okay, so now with this flap down, I really want to make sure that the top is pretty even skeven. And then this comes down over. Like, you don't want it to be like super stretched down to fit down here, because you want it to close when it's full. So if you push it all the way down and flatten it and then mark your marks, what happens is it's constantly pulling, and then you don't have I'm just doing this to kind of audition it and make sure that it looks right. Okay, that looks good. So bring it up about 2 inches from the bottom. So I could just kind of like lay the way I want it to. Just putting these magnets on, once you make the holes, that is it. It is game over. So I really want to make sure that it looks nice and even before I do that. Because that's the last thing I have to do is make my magnet holes for the exterior. I think that's good. It doesn't have to go all the way down. Make it a roller. Yep, I like that. Okay. I'm going to put the mark of the dry erase marker right there. And before I do anything else, I want to make sure it's exactly. So if the flap's not even, it doesn't matter if it's even on the back and the bottom. That's what I have learned. What happened? It didn't even rub off. Oh, I see it. I see it. Oh, so, gosh, bless it. Where did it go? All right, so let me do this side first, and then I'll do the hole on that side. Sometimes I find once you do one side, the other side lays where it wants to lay. And that's what we do it. So let's do that. Grab my washer and the pan. I know, isn't it pretty, Tammy? I'm so happy. This leather is amazing. It's so soft and supple and just nice. Smells nice, feels nice, just is nice. Love it. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna pull my prongs on out. It's just my preference. push on it just to make sure I make an indentation of where I want it to be. Right there. Perfect. I dropped it. Good thing I have an extra one. Sometimes I be dropping things. Phew. Excuse me. I'm just bringing the chat back up in case. Okay. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Oops. What was that? That was that ruler. Okay. Okay. That's so pretty. It's holding on. Flaps open. So pretty. Okay. Yes. That's so pretty. Okay, so for the strap connectors. Okay, so our strap is this big and it needs to be that big. So if we put it together, I put it together again, that should do that. So let's see here. Let's cut this in half. Okay. Trying to see how I can do this without being too bulky. Nah. I think I used a different size than what she had called for, and that's maybe why mine's just too big. Yeah, I'm gonna trim off some more on that too. This is not quite an inch on the inside. It's more like 5/8. This is pretty much how I do it. Like, I rather cut away than it be too small to begin with. And then I'm like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Okay. I'm gonna do both of them the same size. Okay, so now I'm going to put double-sided tape on each long end. And fold it towards the center. Let's chew. That's better. Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. And to burn these little rough edges off, so it's nice and pretty. And I can actually finish those edges off with some, what's it called? Edge paint. It's like my mind is not working. It's like my mind stopped working. It's like, what did I say? She might be wondering why I'm not just putting a thick piece in the middle and just doing that. Well, sometimes I find that the tape, when it's in the center seam like that, especially the wider one, it makes it hard for me to rivet through it. So even though I'm stitching it, I also want to rivet it so I have both happening, if that makes sense. So that's why. What I'm marking now is start to finish, the center, so I can know where I'm going to start and end my stitching. To do a very decorative stitch on here. I will have to put some glue in the ends so that I don't, I'll leave this here so you guys can see it while I work. Okay. So when it folds over, it has those stitch lines. But then at the same time, I'm not making holes in the leather for the other thing. Let me get my wet wipe. It's not coming off. There it goes. Little by little. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that when I put the connector in, see that, so that when I start stitching here on the sewing machine, I can go down. I don't have to get as close to the actual hardware to get that as close as possible. So it's almost like a faux stitching, but it does serve a purpose. Okay. Okay. So I can't do it now because I haven't done the lining yet, but what it's gonna happen is it's gonna go like this into that side piece, like that. So that's how it's gonna do. It's gonna go like really close and down there. It's gonna be nice and pretty and edge coated. So it's like going on both sides, the inside and the outside. The other option to do is you can go like this, put it here, and then when it flips up, you have that. But I like the way it looks when it's over both of them, especially since I'm using Chicago screws. So I will be using these gold Chicago screws to put in. Hey, Lori. I'm glad you can make it. Getting pretty close to finishing up, but I am happy that you're here. If my fingers can work today, goodness. And that's what I like these Chicago screws, because I don't need to have a rivet press and a hole punch. You can create the hole through with your sewing awl, with snips, a handheld hole punch. You don't need to have a press. So these are the little Chicago screws that I'll be using. I was contemplating putting a few of them back here, just so that it gives it an aesthetic look. You know, not necessarily it's not going to be functional, but it's just going to give it a little extra bling. So I might do that. And if I do that, then you guys will see. Because I really think that'll look cute across there. Just like 4 of them or something. I think that might look cute. You guys can see this. Let me move this over. You can kind of see it a little bit right there. Just to give it a little extra bling. Choices. I could do 4 of them. If I have plenty of them. I think I do. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I only have 4 altogether that have the actual other part. I can find more, but they're in storage. So most likely I'll just do the 2 on that side. If I find more of them, I can do it later. But I have to go to the storage unit and see if I can find them. You guys should see that storage unit. Oh, Lord help me. It's something. Okay, so that's the exterior. Isn't that cute? It's so nice and soft. Oh, she's gonna love this leather bag. She loved this print. So that worked out really well. And then on the inside, I folded in the leather raw edge. I think it makes it look really nice. It stands out. And then the inside, which we're going to finish. We're going to do the lining with the waterproof, the thinner waterproof canvas with some cargo pockets and things like that. So thanks, Genova. I think it turned out really nice so far. I think I'm going to do the lining another day, just because it's kind of getting a little bit late right now. 10 o'clock is kind of getting a little bit late. The kiddos are not here today. They're at Grandma's house getting ready for Christmas. They're making gingerbread houses. And Luna's there with them. So she's excited to be with the kids and Grandma. You know, Grandma spoils everybody, including the grandpups. That is it for today, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming in and chatting with me and keeping me company while I make this amazing bag for my daughter. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it, because sharing is caring. And I'm sure that some of your friends out there probably be like, wow, I didn't know about that. And it's fun. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys hopefully in a few days to do the lighting. If not, it'll probably be on Christmas Day, because that's the next time I think I have a little bit of time off. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.